Namaste, Dandavad Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahaṁsa Śrīpad Bhakti Madhava Puri Mahārāja, we are here reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're also paying our humble Dandavad Pranam to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for providing us this wonderful commentary and translation of Bhagavatam. And we're also praying to Srimati Radharani, following the guidance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who said that unless we can learn something about Srimati Radharani in our study of Bhagavatam, then our study has been wasted. Yadi seva vanchitasya ma Yasya kripaya vayam labema sarvam praptuma prayojanam damni Shri Bhagavat pade Kṛṣṇa sambandhi sarvam cha yadi na janimahe tutam ashtadashasu sahasreshu shlokanam Bhagavat oktishu radharanimna vindamhatada Nishphalam Bhagavata Dhyayanam Radhikaya Kripam Vina Vyartasyat Sarva Parishrama. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham, and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, then our study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, all of our efforts are in vain. So today we are continuing our reading from Canto 5, The Creative Impetus, Chapter 9, The Supreme Character of Jaḍa Bharata, texts 9 through 10. Sacha prakritar dvipada pashubhir unmata Jaḍa Bhadira muketyabi basyamano yada tad anurupani prabhashate karmani cha karyamana parichaya karoti vishtito vitanato Vayachnaya yadruchaya vopasaritam alpam bahumrishtam kadhanam vabhyava harati param nandriya priti nimitam nitya nivritta nimitasvasidha vishudhanu bhavananda svatma Labhadi gamashuka dukayor dvandva nimatayor asambhavita dehabhimana sitoshnavata varesheshu vrisha ivanavritangaha pina samhanan nanga standila samveshananu Mardana Majana Rajasa Mahamanir Ivana Bivyakta Brahma Varchasa Kupatat Vrata Katir Upavite Noru Masinad Vijatir Iti Brahma Bandhur Iti Samgyataj Gyajana Vamato Vichachara. Degraded men are actually no better than animals. The only difference is that animals have 4 legs, and such men have only 2. These 2-legged animalistic men used to call Jaḍa Bharata mad, dull, deaf, and dumb. They mistreated him, and Jaḍa Bharata behaved for them like a madman who is deaf, blind, or dull. He did not protest or try to convince them that he was not so. If others wanted him to do something, he acted according to their desires. Whatever food he could acquire by begging or by wages, and whatever came of its own accord, be it a small quantity, palatable, stale, or tasteless, he would accept and eat. He never ate anything for sense gratification because he was already liberated from the bodily conception, which induces one to accept palatable or unpalatable food. He was full in the transcendental consciousness of devotional service, and therefore he was unaffected by the dualities arising from the bodily conception. Actually, his body was as strong as a bull's, and his limbs were very muscular. He didn't care for winter or summer, wind or rain, and he never covered his body at any time. He lay on the ground and never smeared oil on his body or took a bath. Because his body was dirty, his spiritual effulgence and knowledge were covered, just as the splendor of a valuable gem is covered by dirt. He only wore a dirty loincloth and his sacred thread, which was blackish. Understanding that he was born in a Brahmana family, people would call him a Brahma Bandhu and other names. Being thus insulted and neglected by materialistic people, he wandered here and there. Purport. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Deha smriti nahi yara samsara bandhana kahantara. One who has no desire to maintain the body, or who is not anxious to keep the body in order, and who is satisfied in any condition, must be either mad or liberated. Actually, Bharata Maharaj in his birth as Jaḍa Bharata was completely liberated from material dualities. He was a paramahaṁsa, and therefore did not care for bodily comfort. Text 11. Yadhatu parata aharam karma vitannata iha manasva bratrabir api kedara karmani nirupitas tadapi karoti kintu nasamam vishamam nunam adikam iti veda kanapinyaka fali karna kulmasa stali purisadinyapi amritavad abhyavaharati. Jaḍa Bharata used to work only for food. His stepbrothers took advantage of this and engaged him in agricultural field work in exchange for some food. But actually he did not know how to work very well in the field. He did not know where to spread dirt or where to make the ground level or uneven. His brothers used to give him broken rice, oil cakes, the chaff of rice, worm-eating grains, and burned grains that had stuck to the pot. But he gladly accepted all of this as if it were nectar. He did not hold any grudges and ate all this very gladly. Purport. The platform of Paramahamsa is described in Bhagavad Gita 2.15. Samaduka shukam dhiram sumrita tavya kalpate. When one is callous to all duality, the happiness and distress of this world, One is fit for amritattva, eternal life. Bharata Maharaj was determined to finish his business in this material world, and he did not at all care for the world of duality. He was complete in Krishna consciousness and was oblivious to good and evil, happiness and distress. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, CC Antya 4.176, Dvaite Bhadra Bhadragyana Dvaite Bhadra Bhadragyana Sabha Mano Dharma E Bala E Manda Sabha Brahma. In the material world, conceptions of good and bad are all mental speculations. Therefore, saying this is good and this is bad is all a mistake. One has to understand that in the material world of duality, to think that this is good or that this is bad is simply a mental concoction. However, one should not imitate this consciousness. One should actually be situated on the spiritual platform of neutrality. Text 12. Atha kadachit kaschid vrishala patir bhadra kalyai purusha pasum ala bhatta patya kamaha. At this time, being desirous of obtaining a son, a leader of dacoits who came from a Sudra family wanted to worship the goddess Bhadrakali by offering her in sacrifice a dull man who is considered no better than an animal. Purport. Low-class men such as Sudras worship demigods like goddess Kali or Bhadrakali for the fulfillment of material desires. To this end, they sometimes kill a human being before the deity. They generally choose a person who is not very intelligent. In other words, an animal in the shape of a man. Text 13. Tasyaha daiva muktasya pasho paravim tadanu chara paridvananto nishi nishista samaye tamasavratayam anadigata pasava akashmikena vidhina kedaran virashanena mriga varahadibhya samrakshakmanam angira pravara sutam apasyan. The leader of the dacoits captured a man-animal for sacrifice, but he escaped, and the leader ordered his followers to find him. They ran in different directions, but could not find him. Wandering here and there in the middle of the night, covered by dense darkness, they came to a paddy field, where they saw the exalted son of the Angira family, and Jaḍa Bharata, who was sitting in an elevated place, guarding the field against the attacks of deer and wild pigs. Text 14. Atata enam anavadya lakshanam avamrishya praratri karma nishpatim manyamana Bhadrarasanaya Chandika Griham Upaninyur Mudha Vikashita Vadana. The followers and servants of the dacoit chief considered Jaḍa Bharata to possess qualities quite suitable for a man-animal, and they decided that he was a perfect choice for sacrifice. their faces bright with happiness, they bound him with ropes and brought him to the temple of the goddess Kali. Purport. In some parts of India, animalistic men are still sacrificed before the goddess Kali. However, such a sacrifice is only performed by Sudras and dacoits. Their business is to plunder the wealthy, and to become successful they offer an animalistic man before the goddess Kali. It should be noted that they never sacrifice an intelligent man before the goddess. In the body of a Brahmana, Bharata Maharaj appeared deaf and dumb, yet he was the most intelligent man in the world. Nonetheless, being completely surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he remained in that condition and did not protest being brought before the deity for slaughter. As we have learned from the previous verses, he was very strong and could have easily avoided being bound with ropes. But he did not do anything. He simply depended on the Supreme Personality of Godhead for his protection. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes surrender unto the Supreme Lord in this way. Marhabi Rakhabi Yo Ichato Hara Nitya Dasa Prati Tuya Adhikara. My Lord, I am now surrendered unto you. I am your eternal servant, and if you like you can kill me, or if you like you can protect me. In any case, I am fully surrendered unto you. And thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from text 15 on Monday. Before we finish, were there any comments or questions or anything to share? Jai Vishnupad Paramahaṁsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Tirtha Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhaktiveda Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai. Ganga Mai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan, Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai, Shyam Kund, Radha Kund Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Jai, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Scientific Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bo. Jai Bhakti Shivam Ki Jai. Bhakti Chirag Hare Krishna.
Kṛṣṇa Keśava Prabhujī Jai.
Dhanyavad Pranam.
Pranam.